wanted to go into pharmacy. I enjoyed the classes in school as far as chemistry, and I always thought that that was a kind of special place to be when we got to go to the drugstore and see the soda fountain and the departments. I grew up in a little town, Winona, Kansas, that did have a drugstore, and we would go to the drugstore after church, and it was always a special time for me. And then I look forward to that always when I was in school. It was kind of a life goal.
We bought the store from Pershing D. Frederick back in 1977, and we continued to own that store until 2001. So we were there 42 years, had several different pharmacists who worked for us, and did several remodeling and changes to the store as well.
And we came to Colby, my wife and I. My wife has always been the manager of the pharmacy. She's the business person. And there were 4 pharmacies. The one was at the hospital, and there were 3 retail pharmacies. And all 3 of those retail pharmacies were in the same block downtown. And when we had a representative come in from Druggist Mutual, which is Pharmacist Mutual now, he was always a little bit nervous because he said, we can't have a fire in this block because of all the pharmacies being right here together. And so now in Colby, there's still the hospital pharmacy and 3 retail pharmacies, but the other 2 are now chain pharmacies. And so that's been a change. And a lot of that is good. You get to see different aspects of how a pharmacy should be run.
We sold our store to Hannah Benishek, and we worked for her for a couple of years before we completely retired. COVID kind of made the push for us to decide not to be on the front lines anymore, but we loved what we did. It was great for both of us. We had some flexibility to come and go and do some of the things that we wanted to do with our kids and for the community as well. We were both very active in organizations, and we could do that by owning our own store and kind of making our hours how we needed them to fit our schedule.
I always kind of wanted to do that, and I was very involved with the Kiwanis group when we first came back to Colby, and did a lot of their projects and everything that were necessary to help the volunteer fair and things like that. But as my kids got involved in scouting and Boy Scouts, they were supported by Lions clubs and other groups, and so pretty soon we were doing service projects for them, because the Scouts require that the kids get so many service hours, and the kids loved it when they got to meet the public and do things as service projects with the organizations.
One of the first things that happened to me the first summer I worked at Palace Drug Store was that this mom came into the store frantic because her kid had a tick embedded in their scalp, and wanted one of us to help her dig it out. And I'm thinking, well, the clinic's that way. But Randy had no problem jumping right in, getting the supplies, helping her remove the tick, and sending them on their way. And that was one of my first times that I realized that pharmacy really is the front line of healthcare, and that people come to you first. And Randy would always do whatever he could to help people fix what was going on. And it also might have been his decades of Boy Scouts, but he handled that in and other things like that, like no big deal.
He's hands-on and he's very personable with all of the customers. All of our customers love him, even when they come in now and they, go shopping and customers come in and see him, their faces just light up.
One of the things that I really admired about Randy was whenever I would pick up a prescription, he would come out from around the counter and he would stand beside me and he would talk to me about the prescription. He would make sure that I knew everything about what I was going to be taking, what he thought the doctor was trying to accomplish with that medication, because mainly what Randy was doing, he wasn't just selling medication, he was selling education. He wanted to make sure I knew all about it.
But other things that we've seen are the computerization of pharmacies. We had patient profiles from the very beginning, and they were all handwritten, and we could still look up people's prescriptions back from the 1950s if we wanted to, because the previous owner was very forward-looking. So going to computerization was big. I've always been very impressed with the pharmacist's ability to immunize, and that's something that we've always stressed at Palace Drugstore. And it amazes me how that serves the community when you have somebody come in that says, I really need to have my son get this immunization, but he just falls apart at the doctor's office. Can you do this? And we might end up spending 20 minutes to reassure the child and get them to where they can get that immunization that they really need. And then other times we have people that are homebound, and we've given immunizations at their homes, or sometimes they'll have a caregiver drive them up and we'll go out and give them immunization in the alley in their car, so that they don't have to get out in a winter storm or whatever is going on. So there's a lot of opportunities there, and it's made a difference, I think, what we've seen with COVID in this last few years.
They really invest in the people that work for them. Anything they could do to help me, whether it was moving or letting me leave a little bit early to go home, helping me when I was sick, things like that, extra things outside of work, they would always go above and beyond. That taught me how I wanted to do things when I bought the business. That's a side that they don't teach you in school. So they've taught me a lot of valuable lessons on running a business and managing the people that work for you.
When I was a nurse at the hospital, I taught childbirth classes, and Randy was good to come to childbirth classes and talk about some of the things during the postpartum section. Randy was really good to share a lot of information, interesting information about medications, how to safely give medications, what to avoid, and what the people could do for their babies. And so that was very helpful in the childbirth classes. Randy actually served on the board at Citizens Medical Center, which was where I worked, for 8 years on the Board of Trustees, and he was also on the Thomas County Health Department. He was the pharmacist that would help guide them, helped with several of the mass vaccination clinics with the health department.
Randy was every place, everywhere out in the community, a friendly person. You saw him active in many places, the different organizations. Anytime that there was something going on, Randy was out helping, involved in multitude of different things on there, and always willing to help do whatever he needed to do.
When it comes to scouts way back, there wasn't a unturned rock that he was able to try to help us with many Eagle badges that we did community-wise, putting benches at a nursing home, helping us do the pancake feeds, helping us with the hog roast, Santa City. There's just so many community service projects that we did that it's just so rewarding to see that Randy was the hands and feet of it that made us do it. Not made us do it, helped us do it. Randy was great to work with. Like I just said, he definitely was a mentor, showed us that if we put our mind to many things, we can do it. Whether that be rowing down the Niobrara River at Smith Falls, that we could still do it as a team.
Congratulations on this honor, Randy. Very well deserved. Couldn't think of a better person to be able to receive this honor. An asset to our community in many, many ways.
I would say, Randy, you're so deserving of this. I don't know anybody that is more deserving. He's a great man. I should add this too. He knows everything. He's the smartest person I've ever met. Like, he knows about working on cars. He'll fix our vacuum cleaner when it breaks at work. He knows about all the drugs. He's literally the smartest person I know. Awesome. And he totally deserves this.
He has been such a great mentor to many different men, just not me included. But as the congratulations on this achievement, rewarding not just to him, but also to the community.
Randy has just always been a very kind person. He's a lot of fun. He is always doing different projects, not that I'm involved in, even different community projects that he's involved in. So I don't really know a lot about the award, but just from the little bit that I can gather, I think he would definitely be someone who would be a very worthwhile candidate and be selected to win the award.
Randy has given me such pleasure to know him that I just want to congratulate him and say it's such an honor to have known him and allowed him to grow and teach us so much, that I just want to congratulate him and say that he's blessed us so much that I'm just so proud of him and wish him well in everything that he continues to do.
Well, I think as I was saying about how he would come out from around the counter and all, the thing that was most important to Randy and Linda when you came into Palace Drugstore was not the medications that they were selling. The most important thing was you. And they made you feel like that. They made you feel like you were the most important thing that they had to offer, or that they had to take care of.
I am amazed, and I feel blessed. I can't even begin to tell you everything that I felt when you called and said I was nominated. I know that there are a lot of people that have gotten the award before me that I have always been very impressed by, and I would like to live up to what their lives have been, their reputation. And so I'm hoping that I can continue to do that.
His kids are so very proud. And I think they know what he's done for them, and they want other people to know that as well. And so I think that's a big plus in your relationship, not only to your children, but to the community at large. So I think he's very deserving, and his kids think so. So that's been a good thing. They've all learned well from him through scouting and that sort of thing. And they all, as well, are people who serve. So he taught them.